Well, I'll open with, this is a tremendous rivalry. It's got great tradition, great history in it. Great fans tonight. I want to commend our fans for the job they did. I really thought that our fan base affected the game more so in the second half. The energy they had and the enthusiasm they had really helped our defense, fed off that fan base, and kind of helped there late in the game in pass rush situations. But I also want to thank the seniors. There's a group of seniors on this team that have stuck with our staff, stuck with our organization, and believed in us, and helped be a voice to the younger players through some tough times. And they've done a good job of sticking together and continue to work. I think our goal all along has been to make this team become what it's capable of. And you want it to happen early, of course, but what matters most is that it does happen. And we're starting to see some of that resiliency and push and getting better and improvement that we talked about all year. But we still got a ways to go. We still got a lot of young puppies out there, and we still made some mistakes tonight, but we were able to overcome them. So I'm proud of those guys.
Kirby, just the second half defense as a whole, I mean, all 3 and outs, I mean, only 30 or so yards, I mean, that effort it took to make that happen.
Wow, it was a great job by Mel Tucker, the defensive staff. You know, those guys worked really hard. Coach Rocky, Coach Sheridan, Coach Schumann, the entire defense staff, and those players believe that they're going to stop them. They believe every time they go on the field, they're going to stop them. And they worked really hard, and I'm really proud of that staff and those players, because those players have bought in to the system that Mel's installed, and they really believe that they can stop anybody. They got a lot of confidence right now, and they're playing hard.
Kirby, on the other side of that, your offense, other than that last drive where you guys kneeled on it, had only two drives where you had less than 6 plays. I mean, how does that contribute to the overall, did the defense, the offense affect the game in general?
Absolutely, and I don't think people give enough credit. It was a great point that you were saying. I had somebody ask me just earlier, I think it was Chuck, saying that our defense got to rest. And going into this game, that was my major concern, was not getting to rest on defense because of their tempo. You negate their tempo when you eat clock with your offense, and you're able to get some first downs. Even if you don't score, cash it in, get in field goal range, and get knocked out. I mean, all the things that we did wrong, we possessed the ball. And that's huge for a defense when you play all, because you got juice. And they're at their best when they get rolling. If they don't get rolling, that's when they struggle more. And I thought that was key, because then we had some defensive players dinged up, down. Nate Patrick didn't play this game, and he's been injured, and that was a tough loss for the physicality of that game. Reggie Carter and Roquan Smith stepped up and played. Even Johnny O'Neal got in there and got some action. So I think that was really key, that we got rest and we didn't have to play those guys for a lot of snaps.
Kirby Johnson was getting out on the edge a lot the first half. Did y'all make any big adjustments to take that away from him in the second half, when he was bouncing outside a lot?
We did make some adjustments, and we tried to simplify some things. I mean, every time you play them, you come out of the game thinking, I probably should have done less. And they had us confused on a couple things with things they were doing, and the kids settled down. We talked to them about playing some simple things at halftime, and that helped. At the end of the day, we just tackled better and struck better up front, because they were grinding us early.
How do you think your offensive line held? How do you think your offensive line held up without Isaiah, and what's his status?
Not real sure on Isaiah. He's got a knee injury, but I don't know the severity of it. I don't know the grade. I don't know the exact yet. I think we'll find that out tomorrow. But how do I think they held up? I think they just played one of the best defensive lines in the country, and they fought their tails off. So I know everybody wants to criticize the offensive line, but they play hard. They're really smart kids. They play with toughness. They do the things we ask them to do, and I'm proud of the way they compete. There's some good leaders in that group, guys.
Kirby, what were you thinking for Mo Smith when he returned that interception for a touchdown?
What was I thinking?
Yeah, for him.
Oh, for him?
Yeah.
I was happy for him. The kid works, man. There's nobody that I've seen in my coaching group that works as hard day in and day out. I mean, I've been coaching for a long time. He works hard. I saw him work hard myself for all those years, and now he's mature. He knows what play's coming before it comes a lot of times. He's a mature kid, and he's become one of the best leaders on this team. He's not afraid to speak, so I was happy for him.
He said he was receiving texts like beat Auburn, because obviously he's got tons of friends at Alabama. You do too. I mean, there's some irony there that the one touchdown you scored today is by a former Alabama player that kind of punched the ticket for them.
Yeah, I guess it is. I'm happy happy for Mo. I'm happy for our kids here, and that's the focal point for me, because these guys have fought to get better.
What happened to Marshall Long? Can you tell us about his injury and when it happened and all that kind of
Yeah,
stuff?
it happened in practice, last week, had a freak deal, and, I don't know how long he'll be out for, but he will require surgery. So he's gonna recover, he'll fully recover, and we hope to get him back, and obviously our thoughts and prayers with his family and him, but it's a tough injury, and sometimes it happens in football, but yeah, I hate it at this time, because he was really coming into his own, and I hate that situation.
Kirby, you sort of, the Jacob Eason to Isaac Naut on third down seemed to be a little bit more comfortable as the season progresses. Can you sort of speak on how a guy like Nauta can create mismatches on tight ends and some either smaller or slower guys?
Yeah, I mean, he does a good job doing it. He does the routes you're talking about. I don't know that they were mismatches. They were good confusion, motioning people across the field, guy dragging. I mean, it wasn't like he beat a guy man to man. It was a good called play, good executed play. He threw and caught the ball. Had a couple opportunities to catch some over the middle, but he dropped. They were big plays. You know, I thought that was a big part of it. Jacob obviously feels comfortable with Isaac. They know where each other are, but look, we got a bunch of freshmen playing on this team, and they can improve, but man, they competed tonight, and they competed hard.
Coach, it wasn't that long ago that we were sitting here talking about problems with issues with the special teams, but they really did a good job on all phases of kicking coverage and all that today.
Yeah, Rodrigo helped with the kick coverage. I mean, look what he did. He hit the thing upright. I mean, you're talking about juicing one. He got into it. But, you know, I'm really proud of the punt return team. Now, I'm not proud of DeAndre Walker for the decision he made that almost lost it and came on the field on, but I'm really proud of Isaiah because, guys, y'all know their punt coverage? Does anybody know the stats on that?
-3 yards, I think.
2
it was.
returns?
Yeah.
Two returns.
Entire year, maybe, what? 2 returns entire year, and they're -3?
Something like that.
So we worked really hard because we thought we could make a punt. We thought that could change the game. And you gotta work hard to get a return on that punter. And we finally got one, and it kinda juiced the fans. Call it 20 yards, call it 2 first downs, but hey, finally we're flipping the field position, which has been a tough situation all year.
Going back to Maurice's play, how pivotal was it that he not only made the interception, but that he was able to score?
Yeah, you know, I think Coach Tucker does a great job. It's the goodest thing I've ever been around of talking about scoring on defense. He challenges them every Friday night. He even shows reels of all the defensive touchdowns in the conference. So you can imagine those kids get so jealous because they have to watch their guys they got recruited with, the peers, every team scoring on defense. And we've had 2 of them, I guess. We had North Carolina, we had the other name, Nichols, I think. But, you know, they're hungry to do that. So when they get one, they all go block. They all stay up high. He made some good cuts. Looked like a receiver a little bit there and scored.